Hi there, it's Anne Celeste. I just wanted to share a little activity that maybe people could do with their kids if there's a lot of big feelings going on right now. It's not exclusively for kids, it's also something adults could do, but my real support here is trying to get out to moms or dads who are home with their kids. So today we're going to do a little worry box. So here's my box. This one doesn't particularly have a lid. You can have a lid if you want, whatever you can kind of find around the house. Some paper, some markers, colors. Really keep it simple. We don't want to have to run out and go get supplies at this time. So what we're going to do with the worry box is we're going to encourage our little ones to tell us, or if they can write down as many of the worries as that they're having right now. So instead of saying, don't worry, there's nothing to worry about, everything's fine, that doesn't always make us feel better. Sometimes when someone says not to worry, our worry actually gets bigger and bigger. And we don't want to worry all the time either, because then we lower our immune system, we get stressed out, and that's not helpful. So this is a way to do a contained exercise around having worries and having fears at this time. So first step is to take a moment and to write down what are some of the worries. So we'll do that and then we'll check back in. Okay, great. So now we have a box, and inside we have some worries. And sometimes writing them down is enough, and then we can just put the box on the shelf for the day. And just the idea of what we call externalizing those feelings and those thoughts gives us a little bit of distance from them. But that's not the end of the story. What we want to do is, like, maybe with the kids, say, okay, yesterday we wrote down some of our worries. Do we want to pick one of our worries today and have a bit of a conversation with it? We want to explore it. Think of it like the worry is its own little person. It's its own little person that lives inside of our head. Some parents have often told me they've seen the movie Inside Out. So that's like a good reference to know that we have lots of feelings going on in our head. And instead of telling the worry to be quiet and to not exist, we want to kind of sit with it and have a conversation with it. So I've written a few worries. Some of them are my worries. Some of them are worries I'm wondering if they're going on in children's heads. I'm going to pick one of those for today. So one of the worries I thought maybe a child would have, maybe it's also something I'm feeling too, is I'm worried I won't ever be able to play with my friends again. So that's the worry. So let's talk to that worry. What kind of feelings do you have? I'm asking the worry itself, what's the feeling? It's like, wow, I feel lonely, I feel scared, I feel frustrated, I feel sad, I feel angry. So a lot of different feelings can come up with one worry. And often what I do when I'm working with kids, I'll have a feeling chart. So when I ask them, what feelings is this little guy worry having? Worry is a feeling, but sometimes we have multiple feelings at the same time. And being stuck at home and not being able to see friends for some kids is going to be really upsetting. So that's the first question, is to kind of ask, what are the feelings that this little worry has? The second question is, can he help us? So that sounds like a bit of a funny question. Like, how can worry be helpful if it's making us really stressed out and kind of making our mind really anxious? But why? How can the worry help us? Well, actually, why are we worried? We're worried because people are getting sick. We're worried because we can pass the sickness around. So maybe we're worried because we're not supposed to be going outside, and we're not supposed to be seeing our friends. And if we saw our friends, then we would get them sick. So maybe the worry is to protect us from getting our friends sick. Or maybe the worry about we're not going to be able to play with our friends again, that's telling us that it's important for us to have friends. We want to have friends. We want to connect. We want to feel like other people are there to play with us. So the worry is also helping us by telling us about ourselves, that friends are important to us, that we need friends. We feel happy when we have friends. And then, another way it could help is to say, like, when kids sometimes get in their heads and they think things are the end of the world. I mean, we too as adults, we catastrophize and we do this. To say, okay, this is a worry for now, but this is just for now. We don't know yet what's going to happen next. Things are going to change. So let's keep the worry contained in the now. So that worry is helping us to be in the moment with how we're feeling. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be sad. We can take time and just be with this part. That is helping us to make him feel better, make him feel like he can be taken care of, as opposed to not having that feeling. And then later it comes out as like we explode, there's a tantrum, there's frustration. So the worry can also help us. It's like an antenna that says, I have a feeling, I need to work and listen to my feeling. And then the last question, and I'll send these all kind of linked to the video, is can we help the worry? So the worry helped us by telling us we need to stay safe right now and be a little bit careful. We need to know that relationships are important for us and we want to maintain them. And having a feeling in itself is a good thing. So those are 3 ways in which worry is actually helping us at this time. The last question is, how do we help the worry? Because there are things that we can do to make it feel better. So what can a kid do when they're worried about not being able to see their friends? Is there a way to set up a phone call? Is there a way to set up a video message? Is there a way to write a letter, to maybe, link up some activity that 2 kids can do together virtually so that they're connecting, but they're not sharing space? Or when the weather's a little bit nicer, can we go outside and kick a soccer ball between us, in space? We may not be there yet, but all of those things, that there are ways for kids to play together and to connect and be pen pals and, write poems for each other. And that can let the worry know that even if we can't be physically touching right now or in school together, that we can still keep really good friendships going. And that's a way that we can help the worry to feel better. So this is just like a little activity you can do with kids sometimes, where you allow them, when these things come up, to put them on a piece of paper and then to put that paper into a box so that it's not just free roaming in their mind. And then to say, okay, let's take one of those worries out of the box and let's talk to it. Let's get to know it. Let's make it feel better. Let's see if it can make us feel better. And you can do this and pace it however is going to work with you and your children, whether it's all in one sitting, whether it's just one little piece at a time. They'll let you know what they're up for and what they're not up for. And some of the worries are going to be a little bit more complex, but you can still kind of go through the same process with them. So I hope that was helpful. Give me lots of feedback and let me know. And I'll try to continue to post different things that can be helpful, activities to do around feelings when people are at home. Okay, stay well. And then let's get through this together. Bye.